इंदाय तपत्र नेत्र येन त्वया भारत तैलपूर्णः प्रज्वलितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ध्यानमूलं गुरुर्मूर्तिः पूजामूलं गुरोर्पदं मंत्रमूलं गुरुर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरोः कृपा। ओम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय, सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय, सरस्वती महारानी की जय, गीता माता की जय। हरि ओम। Sometimes we salute some gods, some deities, and at the time of saluting these deities, what will be in our mind? What should be in our mind? Either the qualities of the God, our deity, or the form, or the name, isn't it? So when you salute Gita Mataji, what will be its form? जी, गीता माता जी का फॉर्म क्या होगी? What is the form of Gita माता जी? No? Yes. Krishna is giving discourse to Arjuna in the chariot. That will be one form of Gita, isn't it? Other we may have Gita is the cow, Krishna is the milking man, and the audience, they are Sudhir Bhokta, they are waiting for the milk, or they are drinking milk. Lord Krishna is distributing. This form we can have, but better is Lord Krishna is sitting on the, standing on the chariot, and Arjuna is touching his feet and asking, and Krishna is explaining. This will be the form. In that way we can meditate on. So yesterday we were discussing the same Srimad Bhagavad Gita 14th discourse and third sloka. Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham sambhavah sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. My womb is the great Brahma, in that I placed the germ. Thence, O Arjuna, is the birth of all beings. This we have seen yesterday. Up to some extent, little is left. Water and the seed coming in contact with the earth produce sprouts which grow into trees. In the womb of nature, the seed develops into the eightfold elements. Yesterday we discussed it: earth, water, fire, air, ether, and mind, intellect, and egoism. The first fruit of the contact of nature with the soul is the Mahat Tattva, or intellect, which we call the cosmic mind, or we call it the primordial nature. Now we are naming it Mahat Tattva, essence of Mahat Brahma, and that is called, otherwise it is called the universal intelligence. From intellect, mind is born. From mind, egoism. From egoism, the five elements. So in this way, eightfold body, we call it Puryashtak, and this Puryashtak is the being. It comes out of the womb of the nature, that is Mahad Brahma. And Lord Krishna says, I am the Supreme, is the sower of the seed. So what will be the seed? Don't forget it. How will be the seed? What will be the seed? We shall discuss it by and by. Don't forget this fundamental question. How is the seed? Say for a tree, for example, mango tree, mango seed we have seen, there is no doubt. Any other trees, we have the concept of its seed. But when this eightfold body comes out, what will be the seed? This is the tree. What will be the seed? Why it comes out? Why the tree comes out of the seed, and what will be the form and qualities and all about the seed, how it is defined? We shall see it. Don't forget it. There are four classes of beings. All these eightfold bodies, we classify it into four categories. That is Jarayuja, Andaja, Svedaja, and Udvija. The Jarayuj is born of the placenta, viviparous, human beings, cows, elephants, horses, etc. They are the examples. They come from the we call placenta, medical term, and we call it uterus also, and also we call it garbhasay in Sanskrit. So in this way, all these types of this class of beings, they come out in a particular way, so they are classified as Jarayuja. Jarayu means the placenta or the womb. Others, in the variety, the five senses of knowledge exist. In this variety, the five senses of knowledge exist. We are talking about the senses. Of course, directly we have not discussed it here as five senses, but it is elements. And in Gita, in Yoga Vasishtha class, we have seen it in detail. The five elements are nothing but it is expansion or the greater form, gross form of Sabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, 5 units. So they are also activated through 5 senses. In this way, he says, in this variety, the 5 senses of knowledge exist. Understood? The Andaja is one of eggs, oviparous. In this variety, the elements of wind and ether predominates. It is not all the 5 elements. Ether and wind. So they can fly. And you know a secret, when the birds fly in the sky, they have subtle contact with the water. Subtle contact. The swans can fly for days together over the sea because they have contact with the water. They are always fond of water. So the swans can fly for days together without rest over the sea only. Yes, they have contact with water. So it is wind and ether, not water. In this variety, the elements of wind and ether predominates. Wind and ether come under the category of Svedaj or bedbugs, cockroaches. They are born of sweat. In this variety, fire and water predominate. Fire and water. Trees that are born of seeds are classified under the head Udvija. In this variety, earth and water predominate. But in the human beings or in these beings like cows, elephants, etc., those who come out of the placenta, they have all the five senses. And here we can go a little further. Though all these five senses are active in these beings, first kind of being, that is Jara Yuja, yet only in human being the intellect works more efficiently than other senses, and whereas in other animals of this category, the intellect does not work as in human being. Intellect is more active. Other beings, animals, they have intellect, but very mild intellect which can decide about food and fear and their progeny and their चार चीज, आहार, निद्रा and rest also. आहार, निद्रा, भय, मैथुन, ये चार चीज दूसरे पशुओं में है, मनुष्य में भी है. These four aspects, food, rest, fear of death and progeny. All these four aspects are there in all these beings because of the intellect. And in particular human beings, the intellect is more dominant. It works better than any other beings. The decisive power. That's how the intellect culminates in discrimination, vivek. Only the human beings have vivek. In other beings they don't have discriminative power, because intellect doesn't work to its fullest extent. No. So that's how the human birth is, human body is desired. It is desired by all other beings, so that here we can have better salvation process. We can practice something for our salvation from the freedom from the cycle of birth and death, which is the work of Prakriti. To get out of the clutches of Maya. Other beings, they have very less chance. There are chances, very few, very less, and very seldom it is seen. Then he says, Sarva yonishu kaunteya murtayah sambhavanti jaha tasam brahma mahad yonir aham bija pradapita. I am in the beginning also he has said it, I am the sower of the seed. He says, whatever terms are produced, whatever forms are produced, O Arjuna, in any womb whatsoever, in all these four wombs, the great Brahma means the nature, primordial nature, is their womb, and I am the seed-giving Father. Slowly we are coming to the seed. Okay? I am the father, the primordial nature is the mother, the whole manifested world is the child nature has produced in its association with me, Purusha and Prakriti. Therefore, I am called the father of this world. Tameva pita chamata tameva. That's why we pray. You are our father, you are our mother. Tameva pita chamata tameva. And all other relations we have with you. First the father, and then other relations. Therefore, I am called the father of this world. Wombs such as the gods, the mens and men, cattle, beasts, birds, etc., different kind of, beings. That is symbolically said as a different wombs. And forms, bodies consisting of parts, limbs, organs, etc. The form of the body includes all the parts of the body. Not body means all the limbs of the body together. In this way, he says, Sarva Jonishu, in all the wombs, Kauntaya, Murtaya, Sambhavantiya, all those forms, whatever come out of the womb, Tasam Brahma Mahajyanihi, Mahad Brahma, उनका योनि कौन है, उनका ऊम्ब कौन है, what is the womb of them is called Mahad Brahma. And Aham Bijaprada Pita, I am the seed-giving father. In this way, he says, then how this nature, the primordial nature, it gets ability to produce these forms. What is the nature and how it works? Sattvam rajas tama iti gunaha prakriti sambhavaha nibadhanti mahavaho dehe dehinamabhyayam. When he said, I am the seed giving father, I am means the primordial nature is the mother, the whole manifested world is the child nature has produced. In this association with me, in its association with me, what is me? Who is he? Purusha and Uttam Purusha also. Purushottam. Whether he is Purushottam or Purusha, what is the difference between Purusha and Purushottam? Why these different words are used? Purusha means who is entangled with the nature. Don't forget it. And Purushottam is not entangled. He is beyond all these bondage or entanglement or involvements. He is beyond everything. So when his form, just as we were discussing, the universal body and the individual body, before the individual body is created by the nature, the universal consciousness has to take a form which will do all this by the help of nature. Suppose the president is all in all, he is Purushottam. Okay? President is the Purushottam, and his subordinates, the first will be Prime Minister. Prime Minister with all his ministry, everything, slowly it will be distributed into different bodies. So the Prime Minister is called Purusha, and President is Purushottam. He does nothing. He is beyond everything. He is the one. He is the one. So Purushottam, he is never worried about all these governance or all these whatever is going on, or this Karya Palika, all this method of governing in different ways, and Karya Palika, Nyaya Palika, the one section is doer of everything, and the other section is giving the result of it, whether it is right or wrong. Nyayapalika. So in this way governance go on, and the all in all we can say the Prime Minister, he is the Purusha, and how he does all these governing process, how he carries out by his nature. That is in Sanskrit also said, we say it, abhayav. Abhayav means the limbs or the form of the body. That is called the nature. Nature of the king is known as all these subordinates who carry out all these. The Senapati, the Commander-in-Chief, the Prime Minister, all they are the abhayav of the king, means the body of the king, the form of the king. Then only it will activate. King will not do anything. So abhayav, or we call it body, which does everything. So here we can take, for example, the ministry and the Prime Minister who do everything. The Prime Minister will be Purusha, being combined with his abhayav, all the demonstrators or the subordinates, all they who help the Prime Minister, they are their nature. So in this way, Purusha, the doer, if something wrong is there, Prime Minister is accused. And if something good is there, he is praised. In COVID-19, who got the name? It is Modi, who could control it so easily, and he helped other countries also. So the Prime Minister, but did he do anything? by ordering and taking help from other bodies. Then only he can do anything. He does nothing, only order or management. He does nothing. So in this way, but further we shall see upadrashta anumantacha. Upadrashta anumantacha. Bharta bhokta maheshwara. He is the enjoyer, but the nature does everything. When he combines with the nature, gets one with the nature, united with the nature, then only he enjoys everything, but nature does everything. Housewife cooks all the foods and controls the whole home ministry, but the Purusa, the head of the family, he enjoys everything. He gets the name. If the family is good, ideal, the family head gets the name. Oh, see that man. Nobody talks about the housewife. So he is the enjoyer. In this way, now we shall see this, what he explains. Sarva yonishu kaunteya murtaya sambhavanti jaha tasam brahma mahad yonihi aham bija pradapita sattvam rajastamaiti gunaha prakriti sambhavaha nibadnanti mahabaho dehe dehinam abhyayam. How they get entangled. Only Purusa cannot do anything. He is good for nothing. But he enjoys everything. All the name or defame, fame or defame goes to the Purusa. And doer is the highest wife. अभी क्या बोल दिया? नौ अभी नहीं बजा रहे? दुष्ट. अच्छा वो कुछ हो गया, गड़बड़ी हो गया. सत्व रजस तम इति गुणाः प्रकृति संभवाः. Purity, passion and inertia. Sattva is purity, transparency, perfection, passion, restlessness, desires, all these. Because of desires, one gets restlessness. And other is inertia. Inertia is laziness and what we call pramada. Pramada, postponing everything, laziness, sleep. These are called inertia. These qualities, O Arjuna, born of nature, bind fast in the body the embodied, the indestructible, the Purusa, the bodied, one who is called Dehi or Prani, one who holds the body, who is the head of the body, and nature. He is called embodied, and he is abhyayam, indestructible. He never dies. Nature also never dies. As long as the Purusa will be there, so long the nature will be there. Nature and Purusa, they are inseparable. How? Just as we can see the fire and its heat, temperature and light, etc. They are the nature of fire, water, or any body, any person we can take, say Ramu. Ramu is a boy. It has got its characteristics, it has habits, that is called its nature. Its nature is not to keep quiet. It always runs from hither and thither and goes for play. He fights with the friends and quarrels with them and comes always with some wounds or something. This is his nature. Nature, we say. What to do? This nature of this fellow is like that. Nature means all these characteristics, way of behaving and acting, all these together called nature. So the nature cannot be parted from the nature holder, the body, the holder, dehi or prani. That is called Purusa, the bodied. One who has the body and don't think the Purusa is the body. No. It is his body. He is the owner of the body, but not the body. And because he is entangled with the nature, so nature calls this is I body, whereas it is understood as my body. I body and my body, there is a difference. He feels my body, and when he activates as I body. He identifies with the body, so that in that way it is called the bodied, because he is identified with the body. Purity, passion and inertia, these qualities, O Arjuna, born of nature, bind fast in the body, the embodied, the indestructible. He is imperishable. Purusa is eternal being. Sattva is the best, Rajas comes next, Tamas is the lowest and the worst. The three qualities indicate the triple mentality. They produce attachment in the individual souls, delude them and bind them down, as it were, to samsara. Just as the three conditions of childhood, youth and old age are found in the same body, so also the three qualities inhere in the mind. The soul gets limited by identifying itself with body and the three qualities. It is subject to birth and death and experiences, happiness and miseries, pleasure and pain, joy and sorrow, till it realizes its identity with the Supreme Self. That is what we were discussing now. What is the difference between the Purushottam and Purusa? The Purusa is bodied person. He is identifying himself with the body, and his nature is of three qualities, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. And how these Sattva, Rajas, Tamas activate, they give a momentum for all the activities, we shall see further. But these three qualities are born of nature. Vice versa also is true. Three qualities are known as nature. Without these three qualities, there is no nature. So both way we have to see. Nature burns it, burns all these qualities, and qualities together is known as the nature. And these qualities, when they get imbalanced or in a particular changing process, they do all the activities. And then all the complications start. And the Purusha is entangled with the body. So when the body is lost, it gets attached with the body. So again he wants another body. Without a body, he cannot do anything. Purusha, because he is habituated with the body to act by the help of three qualities. So without body, Purusha cannot do anything. And activities of the body by the three qualities itself is known as nature. So in this way he is bound to the nature. He is entangled with the nature, Purusha. Without nature there is no Purusha. Yes?
Maharaj, from a relative point of view, can we understand this Purusha and Purushottam as I and Purusha as I am?
Differently I am. Purusha, that is also understood differently. The universal Purusha and the individual Purusha. You see so many complications. Everywhere there is difference. We create the difference and we are entangled in it.
Maharaj, the second thing is that in the morning session, Swamiji was sharing about the idea sky.
Ideal sky.
So this Purushottam is upper the idea sky or the Purusha is in the idea sky?
Don't compare those things with these things. We shall discuss everything by the way it will be clear. Now we are discussing what is the difference between individual being, how he is entangled with the nature and bound, he is tied up, and what is the difference between Purushottam and Purusha. This is what he is trying to explain. You see, when the soul gets limited by identifying itself with the body, it becomes individual body. When it is limited and when it is unlimited, then it is called the universal body. There also the nature is there and Purusha is there. So both way we can understand the limited Purusha and unlimited Purusha, bodied. The unlimited Purusha is a universal creator and limited Purusha is individual creator. We also, all the individual beings, by the help of his nature, he does everything. Doing means creating something. Action and reaction. So, the soul gets limited by identifying itself with the body and the three qualities. It is subject to birth and death because it is entangled with the body and experiences happiness and misery, pleasure and pain, joy and sorrow, till it realizes its identity with the Supreme Self. What is the Supreme Self? Now you can understand. its limitedness is individuality. When it goes beyond all the limits, then it identifies itself. The same body is universal body, and further, when the idea of body goes out, perishes, it disappears, then it becomes the Purushottam. Same thing, same one-bodied person who is individual body and who is a universal body, the same body becomes the Purushottam, the universal consciousness who has no body, who is beyond all the bodies, whether universal or individual. He is beyond the bodies. He has got no entanglement. He is not subject to the nature. That we shall see. Maya dhakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. I am the seer, I am the orderer, I do nothing. Just as the president, he enjoys the government. He sits quiet and does nothing. But yet, by his consent only, everything goes on. Anumanta, he is the giver of the you see, his conscience. He has to approve everything, then only everything goes on. Anumanta, Upadrashta, he is the witness, he enjoys. The onlooker, the audience of the magic show or match. So he has to do nothing, he just witnesses and enjoys. And for in the lower stage of consciousness, he becomes Purusha also by forgetting the Purushottam state, and he becomes Purusha, and that is universal creator, Virat, Mahad Brahma, and its nature together, and then he still becomes limited, and then he becomes the individual being. Individual being also has a body and nature and all these three qualities only, which is called nature, they only give the momentum to act. So tomorrow we shall see further the word guna. We shall see how these three qualities are. Guna means quality, and how are they different from each other, and how are they one in three, three in one. How they are one and the same, and how they are different from each other. So all these tomorrow and further we shall see. Okay. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Santi Santi Santi. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai, Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai, Gita Maharani ki jai, Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Hari Om.